You're listening to the Get Meal Prep Show, a podcast about meal planning strategies that help you positively nourish your body, learn about nutrition, and most importantly, get dinner on the table. You know that this is a podcast for you if you've ever thought, oh no, it's 3 o'clock and I have no idea what's for dinner. We dive deep into meal planning methods and meal planning strategies that help you prepare healthy home-cooked meals that doesn't leave you feeling like you're tied down to the kitchen. I'm your host, Susan Watson, registered dietitian, certified intuitive eating counselor, and meal planning strategist for the online course Get Meal Prepped, which can be found at www.nutritionacademy.co. My team at A Nutrition Academy and my counseling practice, A Little Nutrition, has formed the Get Meal Prep method that helps people improve their eating habits by cooking whole foods and not relying all the time on convenience food products. Aside from our online course, you can work with us via our one-on-one coaching services. You can find the links to our packages in the show notes below this recording. We're so happy to have you here today and share this episode with you. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the Get Meal Prep Show on iTunes and leave a rating and review. It might not seem important, but your review can make a big impact and help us continue to deliver amazing content and keep bringing you the best meal planning strategies so that you can be the healthiest you ever. It's super easy to leave a review. You can leave a review from your podcast app. Simply search the Get Meal Prep Show, click reviews, and then write a review. We would love to hear from you. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Get Meal Prep Show. Today I'm here with Madeline Morris, a dietitian on my team, and we're going to be talking about 5 prep-ahead vegetables that you can eat all week long. And a common question we get from clients all the time is, how long will vegetables stay fresh in my fridge? Won't they go bad? And the reality is, if you're storing them properly, you probably don't have to worry about them going bad. So let's talk about 5 prep-ahead vegetables that naturally stay fresh all week long. Hey Madeline, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Yeah, it's been a really nice day. Well, it's winter, so it's saying a lot, I guess, but yeah, I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. So let's talk about these vegetables that you find are great that will stay fresh all week long.
Yeah, well, the first one I think is a common go-to, but it has to be stated, is carrots. Because really they do have, like being a root vegetable, they can stay fresh for a very long time. So actually they can last about 2 to 3 weeks, even chopped in your fridge. And I know I get some clients comment on even like how crisp that, the crispness might go down if, let's say, you cut it up and just kind of leave it in the fridge. But if you actually store it in some water, it actually maintains more of that crisp kind of texture. But it also still continues to stay nice and fresh too.
Yeah, I find if I peel them and then cut them up and put them in a container, they won't last as long if I just leave them as a root vegetable. And I know that especially if I get them from a farmer's market or directly out of the ground from my garden in the fall, they'll actually last months.
Yeah.
So yeah, carrots are a great one. And I find that carrots are a good one too for prepping up. Like I use the bento boxes called Yum boxes for my kids for lunch, and I will chop up the carrots and put those in the bento boxes for the week so that I'm only having to prep lunches once a week, and for me the carrots will last all week long, whereas if I put in, say, cucumbers, maybe 2 days before they go kind of slimy. So carrots are a great win for meal prep.
Yeah. And I find that's kind of like a rule of thumb too, is like, as you were mentioning with the cucumbers as well, is that the wetter the vegetable really is, like naturally, and once it's kind of cut open, it's where you have that 2-3 days kind of max until it starts, like, you can tell it's getting a bit gross there too.
One of the things I'll do is, if I do say cucumbers, is I'll chop them up. Depending on how I want to do, I might take out that middle piece if I'm cubing them, which will help. Or I'll put them in a container and put a piece of paper towel in it, and that I'll get an extra couple days out of some of the moisture ones. So peppers are like that, cucumbers, and that seems to at least keep the excess moisture off.
Yeah, that is such an awesome idea, actually. I never really thought about doing that with cucumber specifically, like with some of the other ones, but that's awesome. So the second vegetable I wanted to mention is celery. So very kind of similar to carrots, is that celery will last that 1 to 2 weeks, like fresh in your fridge. You can chop it. You can also again, like stored in some water to keep that crispness as well. But it's great. And I find even for both of these vegetables too, is that, you know, if you get kind of tired of like preparing them just to have raw with like maybe some dip or, you know, adding it raw to like salads or what have you, is that you can also freeze them.
Right.
So if you wanted to like chop it up and dice it up and put it in like freezer Ziploc bags or in your tight kind of container in your freezer, then that, you know, saves you time, you know, down the road, and it'll still really stay fresh. And you can add it to soups. Like the texture will change a bit, but still overall pretty good.
Well, with the carrots and the celery, if I do chop them all up and have them prepared, and for whatever crazy reason at the end of the week, if I have some left over, that's what I'm doing on Saturday, is making a lentil soup and putting my celeries and carrots in them, or some sort of soup that is going to utilize some of these vegetables that do last longer, that will still be great in a soup, and then just use them up at the end of the week.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's even a good tip for like meal planning too. It's like, oh, soup's on the weekend, kind of use up the extra vegetables there too. Awesome. So third vegetable here is broccoli. Good old broccoli. So to maximize its shelf life, you know, it's best, of course, to keep it refrigerated. And I find when you're not chopping it, it lasts about 3 to 5 days. I will say once it's chopped, it might be, you know, closer to that 1 to 2 days where it really stays at its kind of peak freshness and it's not going to really spoil. Of course, you always just want to kind of keep an eye on it, right? Like these are kind of rough guidelines just to make note of it. But I also, with this, want to keep in mind with your meal planning, I know I do this a lot, is that for fresh produce, I tend to use it a lot at the beginning of the week. So I, you know, if I'm cutting up broccoli on the Sunday and I want to use it on Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, then, you know, at least I know I'm going to purchase for that amount, and then I'll use other vegetables like maybe the celery, the carrots and stuff for the remainder of the week. But yeah, just to kind of keep in mind as
yeah, and some people are concerned about how long that fresh veggie taste will be, or how long that will work. And if you're trying to prep for the whole week, what you can do is plan out the beginning of your week to have all those fresh. And then if you have frozen vegetables, you can use your frozen vegetables at the end of the week. And I mean, some of these ones that you're talking about, I shop a lot at Costco, and I'll buy the broccoli. If you buy a head of broccoli, it's going to last a lot longer than the stuff that comes in a bag that's already chopped up. So I do try to buy as much whole as possible. But, you know, you'll easily, if you buy whole, I'll have it in the fridge for 2 weeks. Like peppers, broccoli, and definitely carrots.
Yeah, even peppers, that's a good one too. Like when they're whole, like they'll pretty much stay fresh for a long time, but once you start cutting it up, you have to just plan a little bit more on how you're going to use them. Or
use the paper towel method.
Paper towel method, I was just going to say, like that's, you know, it can be a game changer really. So awesome. So the next vegetable I wanted to kind of bring to light was beets. And I really like beets, and this is a reminder that I actually haven't had them in a while. But I find that they're, you know, a vegetable that we might forget about, but they actually really stay fresh in your fridge for around like that 3-5 days, whether they're cooked or raw. And you can do so many different things with them as well, right? So whether you want to have them roasted, or if you just want steamed and like season it with any kind of spice blend that you really enjoy. I find that it can be a really way of even adding some color and extra fiber. So
sheet pan beets with potatoes and carrots sounds so delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so good. Yeah, so definitely great. Yeah, so the last set of vegetables, I guess I'm going to name 2. So I guess I'm sneaking in an extra vegetable.
Okay.
As we like to do, but it's more like those dark green leafy vegetables collectively. So things like kale, spinach, of course a variety of other dark green leafy vegetables. They will stay fresh in your fridge during the week. And so they're really great, so you can add for whether you're having salads or if you want to mix it into smoothies. And I think it's worth noting that those are really great to have on hand. Yeah,
they're like if they are starting to go a little bit off, because it all depends on
where they're at in their kind of decaying process when you buy them at the store. And if you do get home and they're starting to go, a simple tip is just to stuff them into ice cube trays and then put them in the freezer, and then you can pop them out in cubes and put them in a resealable bag so that you can add them to smoothies or soups and still save them from hitting the garbage can.
Yeah, you can save it. Yeah, definitely great strategy with that too.
So yeah, we've got lots of different ideas there with the vegetables. Those are just 5. I think a couple, of course, ones that are just coming to mind as we're talking about this here. I will take some of the added ingredients that we find are kind of a pain in the butt when you're cooking to do, but like onions, I'll chop up onions once and do enough for the whole week. I find that that's something that will last in the fridge at least 5 to 7 days if you chop them up. And again, you can put them in the freezer so that you can just pull them out when you're adding them to whatever meal that you want. Chopping up garlic or even chopping up ginger, some of those ingredients that are a little bit tedious to do, but when we're making a dish that we want to have flavor, it's an added step, and I find that you can prep those up and have them put in the fridge ready to go when you're ready to do your meal. So
yeah, those are really great to actually keep in mind too. And as you were saying that, like, I don't know where I'd be now without my mini food processor.
Oh.
Because like even with that, like, it's one thing that you can spend, like, it's just chopping, right? But I just love it because then it takes me seconds really to actually chop those all up and then have them stay fresh in the fridge or freeze them if needed. And yeah, those are really good ones to
oh man, when I ask clients, what is your barrier to meal prep, or what's holding you back? I often get people saying, I just don't want to be chopping up all those vegetables. And so then it's like, well, what sort of tools and appliances could you implement that would make your life easier? And the mini food processor or any type of food processor for sure makes it easy for major batch prep. If you're chopping up 3 or 4 onions, it takes seconds in the food processor, right? So then you've got all your onions ready to go for the week. So yeah,
no, definitely handy. I think I just used it the other day too with carrots, and it worked out really well just to have diced up carrots and stuff. But
one last thing that I'm thinking about as we talk about this is maybe just considering the different types of containers that you're storing all of these vegetables in. So I've gone through a couple different scenarios in life. I've done the resealable freezer bag. I find that they're nice and sturdy. Sometimes I'll cut up my vegetables and put them in there. But lately what I've been doing is I've picked up on Amazon, they're like deli containers. And they're plastic containers. You can get different sizes. I think I've just got the 1 liter size. And I'll put the vegetables in them, and you can stack them in the fridge, and they're clear and they're see-through. So you can see how much you have and what it is. Whereas the bags I found just kind of got shoved in the fridge, and I'd be like, oh, look, I have, carrots chopped up, and I'd forget about that. So I like the deli containers, and what I like about them even more is that when I put them through the dishwasher, they stack up really small to put in my cupboard. So you can get like 10 or 15 in a very small space. And then when you're doing your meal prep, it's really nice because I'll have used the 10 or 15 ones with the different ingredients, and I'll just have them put in the fridge. And if you're getting other people to help out with your meal prep, you can label it like just with some tape, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, I think the issue is space a lot of the times, and when you wash them up, they compact really nice and small. So those are my favorite ones right now. I've done different types of plastic containers or glass containers, and I think the issue is when you have all different sizes, they tend to not stack properly and look cluttered or feel cluttered, either in your fridge or wherever you're storing them. So having containers that are all roughly the same size that suits your family needs or your individual needs is something to keep in mind. So yeah, just Google deli containers. I'm gonna, I guess, plug Amazon, not affiliated, don't have a link. It's just where I went because I have Prime and was able to get them. But yeah, deli containers, they come in all different sizes, and I find they're great for freezing as well, except for when you drop it on the ground, they do crack frozen.
Oh, okay. Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. So, okay, well, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you at the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to the Get Meal Prep show. If you have any questions about today's episode or you would like to email us, you can at info@nutritionacademy.co. We'd love to hear from you, and if you have any suggestions or different topics for the show, we'd be happy to hear from you. You can also find me on Instagram at @alittlenutrition, and I have lots of meal planning photos and tips on my stories, so I'd love to connect with you there as well. Again, that's @littlenutrition is my handle. Anyways, until next episode, see you then. Bye.